Hello friends, welcome to the channel. Bob here, and welcome to, well, like a bit of a retro video really, just clicking record and waffling really on EverQuest P99. It's been a long time since I did this. So what's going on today? Well, I'm just got some projects going on P99, so I thought I would kind of maybe try and do some series out of them, see how it goes. I'm faffing around, like playing Pantheon kind of got me wanting to play a proper classic MMO. So obviously booted up P99, and there's some things I wanted to try that I hadn't tried for quite some time, or I hadn't tried at all. So trying to kind of just experiment and playing around with things I haven't played around with before. This is going to be Project Paladin. So there's probably going to be a Project Warrior and Project Shadow Knight as well. Just playing classes I've been meaning to play, and I've kind of collected equipment over time that never really got around to actually playing them. I'll probably be on a couple of different servers. This server is Blue, P99 Blue, and a friend of the channel a while ago donated a fungi tunic on green as well, so I'll probably do some green as well. Maybe have some characters going on both servers. That might be quite an interesting thing to do, just for a different experience. I think the servers, I think green's kind of caught up pretty much now, but there's more people on green, and it'd be interesting to just see what the community's like on there as well. So yeah, that's kind of what we're going to be doing, playing around with some different classes and seeing how we go. I hope you enjoy the series. You know, it's been a long time since I did any of this type of video. Which was pretty much kind of what the channel was, the basis of the channel, going right back and kind of starting. Going back to the first videos I did, this was pretty much how it was. And we'll see how things go. It's funny playing Pantheon, then coming back and playing P99. There's been for me personally, and it seems as though maybe for many of you, there's an issue with the classically inspired MMOs that we were getting. I was trying to work out what it was, and for the last 2 or 3 weeks since playing Pantheon and playing on EverQuest, I've been trying to soak up the atmosphere, the feeling, the experience. I think there's a feeling and experience that the visuals give you. I guess a lot of that is down to nostalgia, but I also think it's art design as well. Art design of the areas, the mobs as well, particularly. I think that's a big thing. I think that like some people may call the visuals in classic EverQuest, or the classic EverQuest visuals, goofy, maybe a bit cartoony. But I think there was is that guy Blue? Who else is in here? Just this guy. But I think it's more than that. I think it's definitely a design thing. I think it's a visual design. I think was very, very good in EverQuest, and I think that while you might call some of the mobs and character design and whatnot a bit goofy, I think there's a darkness to it as well, which I think was just I think they, again, like many things, they just got that balance right. I think between the cartoony goofiness and the darkness. Maybe it's because graphics engines now are more advanced, so maybe it's a bit too detailed, but definitely, the visual design of classic EverQuest is pretty amazing. But I there's a lot of things that you guys have said to me over the years of playing these classically inspired MMOs. Some of you didn't play Project Gorgon because you didn't like the visuals. Some of you didn't play Embers Adrift because there was no magic class, etc., etc. There are lots of individual issues, I think, that you've spoken about over the course of playing the games. But it's difficult to, I say it's been difficult to put the finger on exactly what it is. Is it a feeling? Is it more than that? I'm not sure, or I wasn't sure. But what I've come to the conclusion, and I think this is a big thing for me personally, I'm not sure if it's something that you've encountered as well, is I guess what I would call, I'm not sure if it's input per reward or effort per reward. And I was in the Warrens yesterday, running around killing stuff, and it was like a little light that came on. Now, for those of you who haven't played EverQuest before and you've always wanted to, but you thought, it's just a bit too much, essentially. One of the things is the grindy thing. I kind of hear people say, people talk about having played the game before. That's something that's like a certainly like a stereotype of EverQuest, is to grind, how long it takes. But what EverQuest gets right, and what these other MMOs that I'm playing are not getting right, these classically inspired ones, is reward per input or reward for effort. They're running around yesterday. Now I'm twinked, but yesterday I made the point of running around only killing mobs that were kind of like high greens or dark blues. I haven't seen any light blues. Maybe things get light blue, the higher you get in level. But going around killing dark blues, for example, here and in the Warrens, you're immediately rewarded pretty much with every kill. And this is a mistake that I personally feel that classic inspired MMOs are currently making. It's taking far too long to get rewarded. And there's a weird thing in the community where I'm not sure. There's a weird thing in the community, classic MMO community, where there are certain people who want you to think that classic MMOs were harder. Particularly I use the word harder because they're not really hard, it's more of a time consuming. So let's say that there are people in the community, some content creators and stuff, and people who comment on Discord and in Twitch streams, whatever it may be, want you to think that these games are harder or more time consuming than they really are. And there's no real reason for it, other than the fact that these people never really played a classic MMO, and so I guess the reason is the same for both. There's two things. I think the reason is probably the same for both. The first thing is that they've never played a classic MMO, but they want you to think they do. Or they want them to be harder because they want to feel kind of special in some way. It's weird, like trying to get the psychology of it. But when I hear people talking about these games, they really don't know what they're talking about. And it's only when you come and play P99, I'm not saying P99 is a perfect representation of classic EverQuest, but it's as close as you're going to get. And when you come and play it, one of the things you realise is that you're rewarded far more often, pretty much every kill, when you're killing mobs. There's none of this having to kill 10 mobs to get 1% of XP. After a period of time, if you're in a dungeon or even if you're out and about in the overlands killing mobs, you will find that you will get rewarded pretty much with every kill. And we're talking about experience here. I'm not talking about loots or whatever it may be. That's a different matter. Although generally you'll always get some copper, even from mobs that shouldn't be carrying copper. But the reward is in the XP, and you'll get to a point, even in your 30s or your 40s, where you kill a mob, depending on what class race combination you are. I mean, that's less of an issue now. But depending on what class race combination you are, you will pretty much get rewarded every kill. And that is where these games, I feel, have come away from. It's taking you far too long to get rewarded, not only in the moment-to-moment gameplay, like from a levelling point of view, but like from just staying in a level too long before you're rewarded with new skills and spells as well. It's all like a cumulative effect where you just think this is ridiculous. And your brain maybe subconsciously says, I'm just not getting rewarded for this, and so I don't want to play it anymore. And that really is something that I've discovered. And this has got nothing to do with like wanting it all at once or wanting everything quickly or whatever it may be. I think we're probably going to die here. It's just a fact of the balance of how often are you rewarded for your input. And I think we've reached a point in indie classic MMOs that are trying to be classic, is that they've just taken it too far the other way, and so your reward is essentially, it takes far too long to come. And I definitely found that. There's loads of mobs here. Bloody hell! I didn't realise there would be so many mobs. Unless I get some procs here, I think I might have to run. In fact, I think we'll probably back up to the door. Open the door and then we'll leg it. I hope that Paladin is not en route, because I'm going to be running for the exit. I think I probably bought myself some time by... I didn't realise there were so many mobs in there. I think we'll carry on strafing. Yeah, sorry, I was taking a long time to make a pretty basic point. and these games are not rewarding you enough. Now, some people will say it's a classic MMO, etc., 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 but ignore those people, because if those people had recently played a classic MMO emulated, whether it's on P99 or whatever it may be, they will understand like what I'm talking about. You know, like being rewarded playing a classic MMO is not a dirty word, and EverQuest, through doing some experimentation myself, rewards you pretty much all the time. It's easier to tell nowadays, obviously, because we've got like UIs where you can get the actual XP percentage come up, so you can see exactly how much XP you're getting. And I logged into my enchanter the other day, who's level 40 something, I can't remember what it was, and like a shaman who's level 46 as well. And I just killed a couple of dark blue mobs just to randomly test it out, and and you pretty much get a tick reward XP wise every kill. On my enchanter, like if you're in a dungeon that's got a Zem, like you might get a couple of percent, you know. Again, it might depend on the race combination, because some races have still got XP penalties, and I think some classes still have a little bonus. Like I think warriors have a little XP bonus, for example. But yeah, that was the conclusion that I came to, looking at all of the issues that I know that I've spoken about and you guys have spoken about as well with regards to classic MMOs. Overall, I think there's a baseline for what we're expecting. And one of the things that EverQuest did brilliantly, another one of the things that EverQuest did brilliantly was that it didn't keep you hanging around too long to be rewarded. And my experience of killing dark blues at various levels I've been trying out since I've come back, just to test things out, is that you're pretty much a mob at the most 2 away from being rewarded with an XP percentage tick. And that is one of the big things. I think that's one of the big things that kind of just clicked as I was playing yesterday in the Warrens. What is it about this experience that is really good? And that's what it was. I'm not sure if I can help here. I can probably taunt one off. Yeah. Maybe that means that I think this is probably my fault, actually. Hopefully that means they'll get out. And then we could probably kill this mob. I think that was my fault. They were probably circling back, and yeah. But anyway, yeah. The trials and tribulations of playing EverQuest. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think. I mean, there's we've spoken about lots over the years as regards to why we're kind of rejecting these games. But I do think that reward is a big thing, and it's not a dirty word as some people may kind of want you to believe. I've seen all sorts of stupid stuff, even recently over the last few months, looking on Discords and watching streams and stuff, and people kind of talking about classic MMOs and trying to give the impression that they were something that they weren't, just to kind of feel special, like to wear that kind of like old school or classic badge of honour. But they don't have any idea of what they're talking about. And it's only when you come and play like an emulated server like P99 that you realise that they really don't know what they're talking about. And it's all just like willy waving, you know, sort of people who drive around in massive Mercedes as well, with the music blaring out the windows. It's and I think the thing is as well is that you kind of get the impression sometimes that developers kind of listen to this stuff because I don't know, you know, maybe because these are the most prominent people or the people with the loudest voices and whatnot. It's weird, but yeah, that was the fault for today. Is that classic MMOs are very, very good at rewarding you every opportunity because the developers understood that that's the whole thing. You know, it's like it's very different when you're playing I mean, obviously, like EverQuest is based on D&D, and you know, developers' experiences of playing with their friends, like tabletop D&D and stuff. But I think they realise that, and it definitely is like a Onyx earring. Interesting. But it definitely is like a computer game is, whatever way you look at it, is more immediate than a tabletop game. You don't have that camaraderie of sitting around talking to you, even though you can on Discord. It's not the same as interacting with your friends on. I hope that cleric guy. Okay, I think it was a cleric. It's not the same as interacting with your friends on, you know, in real life, face to face. They were well twinked, so I'm hoping that they probably got out. I'll just go and check. Yeah, and so oh no, bugger. Let's see if they want me to drag their corpse. Let's have a look. Oh no, oh they got it. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, maybe they got a res or something, or maybe they just invised around and did it. Don't know. I can't see the. Oh, there she is. Oh, okay. Oh, I think that might be my fault. That's annoying. I apologise anyway if you ever watch this video. I apologise to you in person in a minute, maybe, if I remember to do it once I've stopped recording. But there you go, guys. Yeah. As you can see, the videos haven't changed much. It's a load of waffling. A load of nonsense waffling. But anyway, that was a conclusion that I came to. Amongst all the other things that we've spoken about before, I just think that these MMOs, the current trend in classically inspired MMOs is that they're requiring too much of your time, and that translates into you not feeling rewarded enough. It's taking far too long for you to notice a tangible reward physically, like on your XP bar, and it's taking you far too long to level, and that is kind of certainly how I feel about it anyway. I'd be interested to see what you think. And also think that there really is a tone where a certain minority want everyone to think that classic MMOs, like classic MMOs, are kind of only really for them. They're the only ones that are hardcore enough to be able to be able to play them, if you know what I mean. And it's all rubbish, because come and play P99 yourself and just go through the leveling process and see how much experience you get, and you will realise that you are rewarded a lot, and often, which is how it should be. That's kind of what you want psychologically. That's what keeps you going, is that focus on moving forward. Even as a player who's not, I wouldn't call myself like a power gamer by any stretch of the imagination. It's just the psychology of it. You want to be rewarded, and I think that's kind of where those other games are losing their way. But anyway, I'm kind of waffling. So yeah, expect more of these EverQuest videos. I'm really enjoying playing at the moment. I'm having a lot of fun. It's nice to try classes I haven't tried before. And what I'm going to try and do with all of the different characters, but my plan is to level these 3 characters or so to level 50. And see how much I enjoy them, and then maybe go from there. I think the warrior overall is something that I want to try, but I can't imagine it's something that, unless I'm really enjoying it, I can't imagine I'll kind of want to go beyond 50 with it. We'll see how we go. And I'll try and group with it as well as much as I can. But I think the key thing is maybe to get 2 or 3 classes to level 50, and see how we do. And see which one I enjoy, and then look at taking them beyond 50. I feel it would probably be the Shadow Knight, because Shadow Knights I just really enjoy from a dark warrior point of view. And many of my one of my favourite characters in fantasy books are, I guess, what you call dark warriors. I've always wanted a kind of like a role play, like an Elric of Melniboné type character. Maybe as a dark elf, but dark elves, they're kind of more so. They don't really fit the theme completely. I'd quite like to have had one thing I'd like with EverQuest, if ever there was something where I'd say what I'd quite like, would be the ability just to an increase in the character creation. So I could kind of create some different faces, maybe with some different coloured skin, that kind of thing. So I could kind of go for an Elric, or maybe what's his name? What's the guy's name from the magician books? Not magician books. That's annoying. I can't remember the guy's name. But he's got a sword that when he kills someone, it sucks out their soul. He's another favourite character of mine. I can't remember the books though. Stephen Erickson's books, I think. Yeah. So I'd like to have kind of gone for that kind of character. So it'd probably be a thingy. But sorry, I'm waffling now. I'm going to stop talking. Yeah, I'll speak to you again soon for some, I guess, some more kind of traditional type videos that the channel was kind of, channel became known for in small circles. I'll speak to you again soon.